So Joe Budden called out Michael B. Jordan for being upset about the fact that one of his old high school classmates who called him corny interviewed him. Michael B. Jordan was, on the red carpet for his new movie, Creed 3. And the woman who was interviewing him was an old high school classmate who, used to make fun of him when he was a kid. And, there was an interview that she did with somebody else where he was referred to as corny by the other woman, not the woman interviewing him. However, the woman interviewing him did admit to clowning him when he was in high school. So let's look at the video of Michael B. Jordan, talking to this lady, and then we'll look at what Joe Budden had to say.
So, we got Michael B. Jordan, the director and the star of Creed 3. And, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay? No, I did not.
You can just tell by looking at his face, bro. He does not want to be in this woman's presence at all. At all. Like, literally at all. Like, he has the look of, why are you even talking to me?
I'd say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say I said we used to make fun of the name. But yeah, he is obviously.
This nigga talking about, what's up? Yeah, this nigga definitely does not like her at all. And people were like upset with him. It's like, oh, why do you care if she made fun of you back in the day? Like, what are y'all talking about? Or like, why are you mad that she called you corny? You are corny, or just like ridiculous shit like that. It's just like a lot of people are driven by these experiences in high school where people don't respect them or accept them. It drives them to become something more. It drives them to become something greater. And oftentimes these experiences stick with those people for a very long time. So for the person who clowned him in high school for simply being named Michael Jordan, when his father's name is literally Michael Jordan, it's funny to me that people are mad at him for not liking her. It's like, bro, you clown me for my name when I got that name from my father, not because my parents wanted me to be named after Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure, bro, let's Google Michael B. Jordan's father's name. Michael A. Jordan. Michael A. Jordan. So it's like, what are we talking about? Like they clowned him for his God-given name given to him by his father, and y'all expect him to be cool with her? Y'all are crazy.
Killing things out here. So we got.
So here's a clip apparently of her talking about Michael B. Jordan in the interview that Michael B. Jordan was referring to when he said corny.
You know what I really think deep down inside? I think that Michael B. Jordan is just like a nice, corny guy. And I don't mean that as a slight, right? I mean, we all know that the nice, corny guys treat you the best.
You know it's so crazy.
I really don't. And I know she said she didn't mean it as a slight, but still, corny just drives me up the fucking wall. Like, cool as we know it in the black community is so weird. Like, if you're just not hood or not street, you're automatically corny. Being street and being hood does not make you cool. Like, cool is something that you just, like, it's not something that you can just acquire by being hood or street. Like, look at how hood and street niggas try to act cool in the interviews. Every time the niggas get interviewed by Vlad, academics, DJ Smalls Eyes, they sit there talking about, yeah, so you dropped the album, right? Yeah, I dropped the album, you feel me? And there's a few songs on there. I mean, you could listen to it, it's whatever. I mean, I worked out it for, it's like, that's not cool. You can't articulate yourself. You're an idiot. That's what you are. You're not cool. You're just stupid. That's what we consider to be cool, is like literally having unable to articulate yourself. The inability to speak properly and explain yourself and give people some kind of perspective and some sort of insight into who you are as an artist, that's considered lame. These niggas get in these interviews and speak mumbo jumbo bullshit gibberish fuckery to these niggas, and that's cool. So when women sit there, like specifically black women, I love black women, not an attack against black women, but when black women sit there and say, oh, he's corny, is he corny because he tells lame jokes? Is he corny because he tries too hard to sound funny? Is he corny because he's running up and down the campus doing anime things and fucking, like, is he corny because he's literally corny? Is he corny because he's just not street or hood? Like, there's a difference between a motherfucker being corny and somebody just being themselves. There's a difference. There's a lot of niggas there's no. Fuck it. We're just gonna press play. Fuck it. I'm done. Speech over.
Crazy. I went to school with Michael B. Jordan at a point in life, and we went to Chad Science together in Newark. And to be honest with you, we teased him all the damn time because his name was Michael Jordan. Let's start there. And he was no Michael Jordan. And then he also would come to school with Headshot. And back then, that was like in the hood. We lived in Newark.
Yeah.
Like that's the hood. You know what I mean? So we would make fun of him, like, what you gonna do with your little stupid headshots? Like, and now look at him.
He got like Panther money.
Well, yeah, I didn't exactly.
You know what I really think?
What are headshots? What the fuck are headshots? Headshots. What are headshots? What the fuck are headshots? Are headshots like pictures of his face? Like is that what they are? Like just pictures of his face? Okay, I guess that's what headshots are. So they basically tried to clown him because he was just different. He wasn't hood, he wasn't street, he was simply being himself. And they clowned him and classified him as corny. Now let's look at what Joe Budden had to say. Joe Budden said this: if any other black millionaire embarrassed a woman working on a red carpet because she thought he was corny in the 7th grade, not the 7th grade, high school, that matters. But even if it was 7th grade still, y'all would call him a lot more than corny. Now I want y'all to take very close attention to this. What issue has, and I respect Joe Budden, but I'm going to be real with Joe Budden. What issue, y'all, has followed Joe Budden for a very long time? His relationship with women. Joe Budden, when he was in the fucking basement doing the fucking freestyles for fucking Tigger, was sitting over there talking about, Trey, when you see a mama, slap her for me. Joe Budden has had horrible relationships with women when it comes to his career. Joe Budden had like crazy allegations made about him by Olivia Dope. Joe Budden, in my opinion, sitting there saying, if any other black multimillionaire did da-da-da-da-da, y'all would have said da-da-da-da-da. That tells me Joe Budden is still tight about the fact that he fucked up and people held his feet to the fire. The problem is, Michael B. Jordan having a personal grudge with somebody who picked on him and violated him in high school is different from you being accused of making lewd and inappropriate comments to a woman working for you. Big contrast. There's a big difference between you telling your son to slap his mama on like national television and Michael B. Jordan having a personal vendetta with an individual who just so happens to be a woman. Y'all think he's only... Like, you think the only reason why he has an issue with her is because she's a woman? They got smoke. So he goes on to say, also, I work for myself and I'm not firing myself. You see where this all leads to, bro? It's the issues he's been having with women that have threatened his career. And look, I fuck with Joe. But Joe, this sounds like you're upset about the fact that this nigga's getting away with something you feel like you could never get away with. Which I would venture to argue that, Joe, you probably could get away with this. You probably could. A lot of people would try to crucify you because you're Joe Budden, you have a track record, but you wouldn't be morally in the wrong. I said what I said. Get off my, love management. Like, okay.
Let me tell
Dog, you doing that to a girl is some corny. I can see that.
See, off top, you doing this to a girl. You got women issues in your career, and you're trying to clean that up by coming at Michael B. Jordan. That's literally all that's happening here. This is not a sexist rant. Michael B. Jordan did not insult her, disrespect her, go on a sexist, nasty rant. He did not do anything disrespectful. He simply kept it 100. You didn't fuck with me in high school. You didn't respect me. So now all of a sudden, when you have a camera in my face and I'm the star, and you're, for somehow, some way you made it here, when you're in front of me and I'm the star, I'm supposed to like be cordial with you and like you and be cool with you. If I wasn't Michael B. Jordan, you wouldn't have this camera in my face. If my acting career went left and everything fell apart for me, you wouldn't give a fuck about what I was doing. You wouldn't give a fuck about me. Why is Michael B. Jordan supposed to be buddies with her? Why is he supposed to not feel some level of contempt?
Being Michael B. Jordan today, allegedly
I
sexiest
wouldn't have did
man
it on-
alive
I
in
wouldn't have
all
did
of
it
these
on my-
blockbuster movies
I agree.
during your highlight week. You've probably never been more visible than you are right this second. And that's what you do to her. And if I bring back them white girl rumors, then it's going to sound even crazier.
How do you connect these two things? You think he wouldn't have this level of disdain for a white girl who did him like this? So, because Michael B. Jordan does not get along, clearly, the look on his face when she was talking to him was not a friendly look. Because he does not get along with somebody who did not respect him at all in high school and made fun of him for simply having the name Michael Jordan, he's supposed to be fake cool with her at the red carpet show of his movie that he directed and starred in. Okay, Joe Budden.
Then it's going to sound crazier, because why you talking to our sisters like that on the red carpet? We only...
Joe, okay, at this point, at this point, you're just trying it. Like, Joe Budden, at this point, you are really trying it. You are trying it. You are turning it into something it's not. And this is one of the biggest issues I have with people on social media. Whenever something goes wrong for a black woman, and I love black women, respect black women completely. Whenever something goes wrong for a black woman, it's always, you're attacking black women. You're doing this to black women. You're doing that to black women. Maybe this individual happens to have a personal issue with someone who happens to be female and black. Michael B. Jordan didn't say anything about her gender, didn't say anything about her race. Michael B. Jordan has never once disrespected black women, unlike the rappers that you niggas, respectfully Joe Budden, unlike the rappers that niggas like you interview, unlike the rappers that niggas like you promote, unlike the rappers that niggas like you do business with, this nigga right here, Michael B. Jordan, ain't never in his life violated black women in a way that you rappers have ever violated black women. You rappers have made a 50-year-long billion-dollar industry out of calling black women bitches, hoes, tricks, all of that. So relax, bro. You're really like, this is so disingenuous. And it's like, Joe, I understand that Joe doesn't like how people do him about the women thing. But it's like, bro, trying to put Michael B. Jordan down over a personal issue he's got with somebody who violated him in high school. That's not the way to heal your image with women, bro. That's not the way. Because you're reaching so hard that people can tell. I can tell you're reaching. I can see through this. You don't need to make an enemy out of Michael B. Jordan, and you don't need to make up some like crazy scenario of Michael B. Jordan hating black women to try to work your way back into the graces of black women. And we're going to read the comments on the Shade Room to see if it worked, because I can guarantee you it didn't.
You talking to white people like that. But I'm not going to make it racy. They say I make everything racy. That was corny of him to speak to that girl like that.
I'm not disagreeing. I would have made
Michael B. Jordan, that's why they call you corny.
Off air. I would have made a joke off air like, word.
Hey, Creed. Hey, what's his name?
I wouldn't have did that in front of
Hey, Creed. In case you were confused, that corny shit you did is why I think you corny.
Yeah.
In case you were off a little bit as to why you just keep thinking that money hides corny.
Let me tell you.
Dog, you doing...
There's nothing corny about what Michael B. Jordan did. That's not corny. That's not corny. I guarantee you, every single person in that room, if they had the equivalent experience of Michael B. Jordan, of becoming extremely successful, and then someone who had zero respect for you and made fun of you and disrespected you, try to come up to you and play like y'all were buddies, or we go way back to da-da-da-da-da, and you wouldn't play with that. What, you think that because all of a sudden, that was years ago, like all of a sudden we're cool? No, because here's the cold hard reality. Here's the cold hard reality of life. If he didn't become Michael B. Jordan, she wouldn't give a fuck about him. And that's a fact. So to sit here and act like that was corny, no, it wasn't. It's not corny. What's corny is making fun of somebody or looking at them as corny because they're not street, because they're not hood, because they're not tough. What's corny is the bullshit image that you niggas promote to black children to kill one another, sell drugs to one another, crash out, go crazy, disrespect black women, promote drug use, showcasing black women half naked in every single music video. That's what's corny. But we ain't gonna talk about that though. No one from the rap industry could ever look at anyone like Michael B. Jordan and ever talk about disrespect toward black women or corny. What are we talking about? This is crazy. This is crazy talk. The reality of the situation is this. People want to sit. Here's the reality of the situation. Joe Budden and a lot of other, and most black women aren't even reacting this way. Most black women completely understand why Michael B. Jordan feels the way that he feels. Most black women get it. Most black women completely understand. But what you got is Joe Budden and a few other black women who don't like guys like Michael B. Jordan. They like a street dude. They want a guy like Michael B. Jordan to know his place. You're the sweet, handsome, corny guy that when I'm done messing with this dude that ain't no good for me, I'm going to come back to you and try to get my life right with you. That's who Michael B. Jordan is. And when a guy like Michael B. Jordan is face to face with a woman who thought he was corny and clowned him and made fun of him back when he was a kid in high school, and he's not trying to be buddy-buddy with her, and he's making it very clear to her, I don't like you, and I really don't want to do this interview with you. Like, we're not cool like that. We don't go way back. We knew each other. We know who one another are or is or whatever, but we are not friends. They're offended by that because it's a reminder to them. It tells them that I can't just waltz back over to the corny guy and get what I want. When Michael B. Jordan is like, nah, shorty, like, you didn't respect me back in the day. I'm not gonna all of a sudden act like we're buddies and we're friends. We're not. Nah, this ain't even that. They're offended because it's a reality check of you can't just put a nigga in a position like that and try to hold him there and try to son that nigga and then turn around 15, 20 years later and try to act like we go way back. Disrespect is disrespect. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. That's corny. Same shit with Drake. Drake came on the album Her Loss and started talking a little bit more spicy about women. Guess what the women felt? Some women, they felt disrespected. You want to know why? Because Drake is the nice, soft, little corny guy that makes music for us girls and makes us feel good. How dare he, in a music video or in a song, say this about Megan Thee Stallion or Serena Williams? How dare he? But when the other rappers were sitting there calling you bitches and hoes and showing y'all off to be sex objects for the rest of the world to disregard and disrespect, y'all didn't care. When these rappers were teaching your sons to kill one another and your daughters to be hoes, you didn't care. When these niggas were sitting there rapping about bitch this, hoe that, trick this, all kind of disrespect toward black women. All of this. When these rappers say bitch this, they're not talking about white girls. They talk about black women. When these rappers talk about hoe this and hoe that, they talk about black women. When these rappers have women half naked and they basically naked in their music videos, twerking, it's black women. The rap industry has been the sole pusher of the disrespect of the black woman. And what do so many black women do? Unfortunately, is get mad at a nigga like Drake, who for the majority of his career, if not the entirety of it, has never violated black women ever, and get mad at him for stepping out of his place. You're supposed to be the corny light-skinned guy that we listen to when Pookie and Ray Ray or whatever aren't treating us right. You're the guy who makes the music that gives us the energy to ramp back up and go back out into the streets and get hurt again. You're that guy. How dare you sit there and say Serena Williams' husband is a groupie and Nobu, we might pop out on you in Suzuki or like whatever. Like, they want guys like Michael B. Jordan to know his place. Know your place. Don't you ever, ever, ever step out of your place, nigga. That's the problem. Joe Budden is trying to save his career. The black women, or at least reform his relationship with black women. These black women and the black woman in the video with Joe Budden, who's upset with Michael B. Jordan, what they're trying to do is make him know his place. Notice how they're not mad at the disrespect that these street rappers show to black women every single time they open their mouth, whether it's on an interview or in front of a microphone. They're not mad at them. They're mad at niggas like Drake and Michael B. Jordan, who are supposed to know their place. You're the corny guy. When the girl who made fun of you in high school for not being street or hood or tough enough or a good hooper, when she interviews you, nigga, you better smile, nigga. Know your fucking place. Smile. Act like it was no big deal. Act like she would still interview you or give a fuck about you if you weren't this big star. Smile, nigga. That's what they want him to do. Same shit with Drake. How dare you get on a song and talk your shit? How dare you talk as if maybe the problem wasn't you in the relationship? Maybe it was the other girls. How dare you throw shots? How dare you do that? You're supposed to be the guy that makes songs that we can bob our heads to and feel safe to, and then go back out into the streets. That's the problem. That's what's happening here, is a small sect of women who can't make peace with the fact that they don't like corny guys are trying to force corny guys to accept their position and like it. That's all it is. It's just women who have a hard time accepting the fact that they made their bed and now they have to lie in it. But we're going to look at the comment section from the black women in the shade room, because I firmly believe, bro, these black women get it. They understand. They're not assholes. For some reason, though, I can't fucking load the comments, though. Right, so let's look at the comments of the video. Let's see what they have to say. Does that mean that they didn't troll him in school? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, y'all want this nigga to ignore the blatant disrespect that he received in high school because the people who did it to him are black women? You do realize that you don't make black women more likable when you do that. That's how you breed resentment, bro. It's like when black men are fucking up in the community and niggas say, oh, y'all are attacking black men for the umpteenth time. No, black women are just trying to hold some of us accountable to take care of our kids, to stop committing violence in the community. It's not hatred toward black men. They're just asking for better performance in this community. Same shit the other way around. A black woman fucks up, someone holds her accountable, you coming up to black women. This is a problem with our community. Can't nobody be held accountable. Men that carry themselves with respect have to stop being labeled as corny. It's getting old. Exactly. Carrying yourself with common decorum and just like being a normal citizen, a law-abiding citizen, is not corny. Y'all going off on a podcast. He talking about back in high school. Nobody's on the same page. Calling people corny because they don't act hood is a problem within itself. Like I said before. Here's a good comment. Whether she called him corny or not, the moral of the story is she admitted to teasing him back in the day, and now she's interviewing him for his greatness. Cue the story Back Then by Mike Jones. It's the facts. It's just the facts. This is a poor attempt by Joe Budden to score brownie points with black women, and it's never gonna work, bro. Like, once you piss off the Shade Room audience, bro, they'll never like you. Academics is not the guy that the Shade Room believes him to be, and yet he can never catch a break with them. He's not some women-hating asshole, but that's the image the Shade Room has of him. Joe Budden completely just went off on Michael B. Jordan for an audience of people that will never like you. You literally took shots at Michael B. Jordan for the Shade Room audience. That's basically what you did. Problem is, you, in your calculation, seem to have forgotten they're never gonna like you, Joe, ever. People need to realize whenever someone makes fun of a person, that person will never forget how you made them feel. I don't care if it was high school, you'll never forget. Be careful how you treat people, because eventually the tables will turn. Sis gotta eat what comes with her actions. Next. Look at this, bro. The Shade Room. All black women. Look at all the... Bruh. All of these black women. Look at all of these black women, bro. Look at all of these black women not agreeing with Joe Budden. Not agreeing with Joe Budden. This is a black female platform. This is a Instagram page run by and commented on and engaged by black women. And they literally do not agree with Joe Budden. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this man literally, he's literally tanking a possible, he could have did an interview with Michael B. Jordan for all we know. And he's completely destroying a possible relationship with Michael B. Jordan just so he could get brownie points with black women on the internet, bro. Nice try. But once you lose the Shade Room audience, once they don't like you, it's over. It's done. There is no recoup. There is no no. It's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. She said, but y'all get mad when the corny ones become successful and choose another race. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the problem is that some women have a hard time accepting the fact that if you clown someone, treat them poorly, don't respect them, when they become successful, they probably aren't going to want to be your buddy. It is the way it is. Like, if you clown somebody for simply being named Michael Jordan, and his father's name is Michael Jordan, if you do somebody like that, it is like, you got to take what comes with that. And some women have a hard time accepting. Like, sometimes You might pass up on the guy who's really the W. You might pass up on the guy who's really the one. You might pass up on the guy who really is the right choice. And then when he's not interested in being your buddy, when you sit there and say, "Oh, we go way back," no one ever says we go way back unless they're speaking in terms of friendship or at least acquaintance. Like, "Oh yeah, bro, I knew him back in the day. I dapped him every now and again, asked him how he was doing. Like, it was cool." That means we go way back, or we were friends. If the only relationship I had with you was you clowning me all throughout high school, bro, that's not going way back. That's just you, that's just you clowning the shit out of me, bro. Like, that's literally all that is. So it's just crazy to me, like, how she could sit there and say, like, the fact that Joe Budden could be upset about this. Like, nice try, Joe, but no. Like, your relationship with black women is fucked. I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm not saying Joe Budden is this sexist asshole that everyone makes him out to be, because I don't think he is. But Joe Budden needs to realize you can't undo the shade room disliking you. That's an L you got to eat for life. Like, it doesn't matter who you become later on. It doesn't matter how much support you show black women. If the shade room doesn't like you, it's the end. Don't fucking attack other people and fuck up relationships that you could have, and fucking go off on some random dude you don't know for an audience that really does not like you at all. Crazy to me. Absolutely insane. Anyways, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. I am out.